What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. Today's video, I'm going to show you guys a ThinkorSwim ThinkScript titled The Volume Zone Oscillator. This is another video in the video series I created, ThinkorSwim ThinkScripts. If you're interested in that playlist, I will leave a link for it in the video description of this video. Down below here, these blue lines, and I have arrows pointing to them right there, that is the volume zone oscillator. We're going to break it down in this video. I'm going to show you how to use it, what it is, and I'm going to leave the ThinkScript down below in the video description if you guys are interested in it. We got a lot to go over, so let's jump into the video, everybody. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, join the Trading Learning 101 community where we all grow as traders. With over 300 videos currently in the video library, there's all types of different subjects that you could learn from and take away from as an investor and as a trader. So what is the volume zone oscillator? I have Investopedia open up here. How to interpret the volume zone oscillator. Walid Khalin and David Steckler, I probably bombed their names, but they introduced the volume zone oscillator, VZO, in the 2009 IFTA, International Federation of Technical Analysis journal, and followed up in Technical Analysis of Stocks and Commodities magazine in May of 2011. Introduced the volume zone oscillator, VZO, in the 2009 IFTA, International Federation of Technical Analysis journal, and followed up in Technical Analysis of Stocks and Commodities magazine in May of 2011 with simple trade triggers and closed ties to on balance volume, OBV. This new tool has gained traction since that time and is now included in many charting packages, but it will take more testing and experience to fully evaluate its potential. The oscillator breaks up daily volume activity into positive and negative categories. It's positive when the current closing price is greater than the prior closing price, and negative when it's lower than the prior closing price. The resulting curve plots through relative percentage levels that yield a series of buy and sell signals, depending on level and indicator direction. Here's the formula right here. And the default period for this volume oscillator is set to 14. And you can adjust it for backtesting and tweaking with it for your desired liking. The calculation creates a daily variable R that contains an up or down volume reading depending on the session of price bar. VP and TV results are smooth with exponential moving averages, and final numbers are multiplied by 100 to create a percentage scale on the indicator panel. The oscillator moves higher when the cumulative R has a positive value and lowers when it has a negative value. Interpretation. The VZO, volume zone oscillator, points to a positive trend when it rises above and maintains the 5% level, and a negative trend when it falls below the 5% level, fails to turn higher. Oscillations between the 5% and the 40% levels mark a bullish trend zone, while oscillations between negative 40% and 5% mark a bearish trend zone. Meanwhile, readings above 40% signal an overbought condition, while reading above 60% signal an extreme overbought condition. Alternatively, readings below negative 40% indicate an oversold condition, which becomes extremely oversold below negative 60%. Price patterns and other indicators can be examined to confirm VZO buy or sell signals. Volume bars, common on most price charts, provide useful information in this regard, adding to signal reliability when bullish and bearish crosses align with 2 times or greater average volume. In addition, look for OBV tick higher when the VZO has pushed above 50% and lower when it fails below that level. The bottom line, the volume zone oscillator offers a fresh approach to volume-based trend signals, taking its cues from the classic on-balance volume indicator and adding smoothing averages to elicit buy and sell signals at different levels of trend movement. Alright, with this clip, I'm going to show you guys how to use the volume zone oscillator. To point things out first, the 14-day average for the volume zone oscillator. When you look at the volume zone oscillator, try to look at it as if it's an RSI as well. You got your overbought conditions here, 80, 60, 40, and 20. Your oversold conditions, 20, 40, and 60. And then we also have our 0 line. And then on most volume oscillators, you're also going to have a 5% bullish line just above the 0 line. And then you're going to have a negative 5% bearish line just below the 0 line. Now what they say is you want to try to see the volume zone oscillator. If you're bullish on the stock, what you want to look for is the volume zone oscillator to bounce off the positive 5% line, which is this top green line right here. And if you're bearish on the stock, you want to see it bouncing off of the negative 5% bearish line for strength. Or you could just use the 0 line. When the stock's bouncing, holding support at the 0 line, all right here, that's showing bullish strength. It's holding positive bullish strength at the 0 line above it, and then it bounces up higher. And when it bounces up higher up into this 20 zone and then touching the 40 zone up here on it, and even going up to the 60 zone, these are the areas you'd be looking to sell it. If you were to get in right there and it blows right through it, that's a sell. You would sell it for a loss. But you could also buy that, just acting as support, and then selling it when it comes up to resistance. Another strategy to look at this. It fell through pretty hard right here at the 0 line. And then you could see right here, it fell into the very negative oversold conditions area. You could look at this as a quick scalping opportunity, jumping in on the stock, selling it when it hits up here at the 0 line for resistance. Or if the stock falls through, it hits down here at the very negative oversold conditions, bounces up, that 0 line's holding as resistance, and then once it crosses above it right here, pops up right here, and then when it comes back down, it bounces right at that 0 line, holding as support. That's a good potential buy, putting your risk at the break below the 0 line. And then when the stock pops right up to this 40 overbought condition, you could sell it right there. And then the stock came back down, crashed through the 0 line, ripped back up above it, held as support right there, popped up. There's many different ways to look at this volume zone oscillator, and that's why I like looking at it and plotting it on multiple time frames to get a general idea of what the trend is on a stock and what the strength is on the bullish side and on the bearish side. You could simply just use this as another tool to help you as a day trader and a swing trader. So I have it plotted right here on the ThinkorSwim chart here. We're looking at a daily chart of MAC, and this is the volume oscillator right here. This white line in the middle is our 0 line. And then just below that, we have a white line that's the -5 line. So pretty much interpret that as just the zero line. That's how I interpret it. When the volume zone oscillator falls below this zero line, the next levels that we have are the -60 and -40 lines. Watch for it to bounce off of those lines and then back up to the zero line. And then when momentum comes into the stock, it'll cross over that zero line and up into positive territory. An example of it right here, right from the zero line right here. It was resistance. It fell all the way down to the -60 line, ran up, and it crossed over the zero line. And then right here, it's bouncing and holding as support right at that zero line, showing bullish strength. And you could see from the low here at 22, the stock moved all the way up to $26. A bit sloppy. This isn't really a chart that I would trade. I just wanted to show you guys this example. And I've been plotting this on my daily charts, and I've also been plotting this on my 1-minute charts. Tweaking with it, messing around with it, going into the settings here of volume zone oscillator, changing the length of it from 14. I may move it down a little bit, I may move it up a little bit, just messing around with it. And I stumbled across this volume zone oscillator, been messing around with it, thought it was pretty neat, and thought I'd share it with you guys. If you wanted to change the colors of the volume zone lines, you could do that in the settings here. You can change the width of the line, the color, the style of it, and the length. And then use the volume zone oscillator with the volume subgraph. You could see right here at the beginning of the day, the sell-off from 26.50 all the way down to 24.50. We had all this volume here, this selling volume rising right there. And with the volume zone oscillator way down here, way below, just selling off right from the zero line all the way down to below the -60 into the very oversold area. You can look at this also as if it's like another version of the RSI. You have your oversold conditions at the bottom, and you have your overbought conditions at the top. Stock had this big morning sell-off down on big selling volume. Right as the market opened at that zero line, it just fell all the way down below the -60 on the volume zone oscillator. And then from that -60, from the oversold area, extreme oversold area, it grinded all the way back up to the zero line. From this bottom at 24.75 up to 25.25. That's how I've been messing around and looking at the volume zone oscillator, comparing it with overall volume and price action. Here's another example with VTVT this morning. We got right when the market opens at 380, it pushes right up to 423 right there. We got our big volume surge, green candle right here, and then right below with this volume oscillator, right from that zero line, pops up and surges up, and then comes back down, bounces at the +40 level and almost the zero line, and then makes a lower high on that little bounce there on the oscillator. And also you got buying volume increasing as well. I see selling pressure starting to increase on it, and on the volume zone oscillator it falls below this zero line right there, falls below it, and then that zero line was acting as resistance. And then slowly but surely the volume zone oscillator started making new lows on the day as the stock started making new lows on the day. It's just something to mess around with and have fun with, tweak with it. I thought I'd present it and show it to you guys. I will leave links, like I said, in the video description. And if you're interested in other ThinkScripts by ThinkorSwim, I will leave that playlist in the video description as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Join the Trading Learning 101 community where we all grow as traders. And until next time, everybody, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. Later, everybody.
The most valuable commodity I know of is information.